had 90 days to marry a man I'd never met. What? If I succeeded, I'd inherit $5 billion, 12 companies, and an empire my family had built over 4 generations. If I failed, everything would go to charity. And the rival family who'd been trying to destroy us for 30 years would finally win. Oh, and the man I had to marry? He was the son of that rival, the enemy, the person who probably wanted me dead more than married. This is the story of how a funeral turned into a business deal turned into a war, and a war turned into something I never expected. The funeral. My grandfather, Harrison Ashford, died on a Tuesday. Heart attack, sudden. He was 78 years old and had been running Ashford Industries until the day before he collapsed. The funeral was everything you'd expect for old money New England aristocracy. Black cars, designer mourning clothes, people crying who'd probably hated him. I stood beside my parents at the graveside. My mother, Caroline, was stoic. My father, Richard, looked devastated. He'd married into the Ashford family, taken the name, spent 30 years trying to earn my grandfather's respect. He'd finally gotten it. 6 months before grandfather died. My younger brother, Julian, age 23, was on his phone, even at a funeral. He'd never cared about the family business, preferred partying in Monaco to board meetings. And then there was me, Vivian Ashford, 27, graduate degree in art history, owner of a small but successful gallery in Soho, the grandchild who disappointed Harrison Ashford by choosing passion over profit. Art galleries don't build empires, Vivian. He'd told me when I'd turned down his offer to join Ashford Industries 5 years ago. They're hobbies for rich people with no ambition. Then I'll make it more than a hobby. Prove it. I'd spent 5 years proving it. My gallery was profitable, respected, featured in Art Forum. I'd done it without family money, without the Ashford name. And now grandfather was gone, and I'd never get to show him I was right. The priest finished the service. People began filing past the grave, offering condolences. My mother's sister, Aunt Patricia, grabbed my hand. He was so proud of you, even if he never said it. I wanted to believe that. The will reading. 3 days later, we gathered at the law offices of Morrison & Associates, the same firm that had represented the Ashford family for 60 years. Yet Edmund Morrison himself conducted the reading. 80 years old, sharp as ever. My family sat on one side of the massive conference table. My parents, Julian, Aunt Patricia, and her husband. 3 cousins I barely knew. Edmund opened a leather folder, pulled out the will. Harrison Ashford's last will and testament, dated 6 months ago, witnessed and notarized. 6 months ago, right around when grandfather and I had last spoken. To my son, Richard Ashford, Edmund read, I leave the estate in Newport, the art collection, and my personal effects. My father nodded. Expected. To my grandson, Julian Ashford, I leave a trust fund of $20 million, to be distributed in increments over 20 years, contingent on maintaining gainful employment and staying out of legal trouble. Julian's face fell, but he'd expected immediate access to billions. To my daughter, Patricia Green, and her family, I leave $10 million to be divided equally. Aunt Patricia smiled tightly. She'd hoped for more. To my granddaughter, Vivian Ashford. Everyone turned to look at me. I leave Ashford Industries in its entirety. All 12 subsidiary companies, all assets, all stock. Estimated total value, $5 billion. Silence. My mother gasped. Julian stood. That's insane. She doesn't even work for the company. There is, Edmund continued calmly, one condition. Of course there was. Vivian must marry within 90 days of my death. The marriage must last a minimum of 2 years. If she fails to meet this condition, all assets transfer to charity. No member of the Ashford family will receive anything beyond what has already been specified in this will. I couldn't breathe. There is one additional specification, Edmund said. The marriage must be to Dominic Sterling. The room exploded. Dominic Sterling, son of Marcus Sterling, our family's biggest rival, the man who'd spent 30 years trying to destroy Ashford Industries. This is manipulation, my father shouted. This is legally binding, Edmund replied. Harrison was of sound mind when he dictated these terms. I witnessed his reasoning. He believed this marriage would end the feud between the families. Unite the two companies. Create something stronger than either could build alone. It's blackmail, Aunt Patricia said. It's a condition of inheritance, Edmund corrected. Vivian can refuse, but if she does, the entire estate goes to charity as specified. The Ashford legacy ends. Everyone was looking at me, waiting for my answer, but I couldn't speak because my entire life had just been reduced to a transaction. Marry a stranger from an enemy family, or destroy everything my grandfather built. 90 days. The clock was already ticking. The research. I didn't give Edmund an answer that day. I went home to my apartment in Soho, poured a glass of wine, stared at the city lights. $5 billion, 12 companies, 4 generations of work. All mine. If I married a man whose family had spent 3 decades trying to destroy mine. My phone rang. My best friend, Sophie. I just saw the news. Forbes is reporting your grandfather left you everything. With conditions. What conditions? I told her. Oh my God. Vivian, that's medieval. A deranged marriage? In 2026? Technically, it's a conditional inheritance, not arranged. What's the difference? In an arranged marriage, both people are forced. In this, just me. What about him? This Dominic Sterling? Good question. I opened my laptop, started searching. Dominic Sterling, age 30, CEO of Sterling Tech. Founded the company at 24 with a revolutionary cybersecurity platform. Grew it to a $3 billion valuation in 6 years. Forbes 30 under 30. TechCrunch featured him constantly. Called him the future of digital security. Handsome, obviously. Dark blonde hair, sharp features. That aristocratic bone structure that came from generations of wealth. But his eyes bothered me. Blue-gray, intelligent, and calculating. Every photo showed him at tech conferences, charity galas, always alone. No girlfriend, in no public relationships. He's gorgeous, Sophie said. I'd sent her his photo. He's the enemy. Are you sure? Maybe he's nothing like his father. His father, Marcus Sterling, tried to hostile take over Ashford Industries 3 times. The last attempt was 2 years ago. Cost us millions in legal fees. You think Dominic doesn't know about that? Maybe he's different. Or maybe this is exactly what they wanted. Get me to marry him. Get access to Ashford Industries from the inside. Destroy us legally. That's paranoid. That's realistic. But even as I said it, I wondered. My grandfather wasn't stupid. If he'd specified Dominic Sterling, there was a reason. What had he seen that I couldn't? The first contact. The next morning, I received a message from Dominic Sterling. Ms. Ashford, I understand we have a situation to discuss. Would you meet me today? 3 p.m. Café Boulud. Just us. No lawyers, no press. Direct, no pleasantries. I typed back. How do I know this isn't a trap? His response, you don't, but we're both stuck in this. Might as well talk like adults. Fair point. I arrived at Café Boulud at 2:55 p.m. He was already there. Corner table, wearing dark jeans and a button-down. No suit, trying to look approachable. It didn't work. He still radiated wealth and power. I sat, didn't offer my hand. "Thank you for coming," he said. "Did I have a choice?" "You always have a choice. That's the problem, isn't it?" The waiter appeared. Dominic ordered coffee. I ordered tea. "So," I said once we were alone, "did you know about the will?" "No. I found out the same way you did. My father called me. Told me Harrison Ashford had orchestrated one final move. Your father must be thrilled. Access to Ashford Industries through marriage." My father is furious, actually. That surprised me. Why? Because I refused. I blinked. "You refused?" I told him I'm not marrying someone for a business deal, especially not an Ashford. "Then why are you here?" He leaned back, studied me with those calculating eyes. "Because my lawyer pointed out something interesting. The will specifies that you have to marry me. It says nothing about me having to agree, which means legally, I hold all the power." My stomach dropped. "You're blackmailing me." "I'm stating facts. You need me to agree to this marriage. I don't need you for anything, which means if we're going to do this, we negotiate." "Negotiate what?" "Terms. What I get out of this arrangement." I stood. "I'm not negotiating with a Sterling. Then you lose $5 billion. I sat back down, hated myself for it. But he was right. "What do you want?" I asked through clenched teeth. "First, clarity. Do you want to do this? Marry me? Take the inheritance?" Did I? I thought about my gallery, my independence, the life I'd built without family money. I thought about my grandfather's legacy, the employees who'd lose jobs if Ashford Industries dissolved, the charities we funded. I thought about my father's face at the funeral, the pride that would turn to shame if I refused. "Yes," I said quietly. "I want the inheritance. Even if it means marrying me? Especially if it means marrying you. Because the sooner we marry, the sooner I can divorce you and never see you again." He smiled. Actually smiled. "At least you're honest. What do you want, Dominic?" "Access." "To what?" "Ashford Industries Logistics Division. You handle shipping and distribution for luxury goods across North America. My company needs that infrastructure. Currently, we're paying premium rates to third parties. If I had access to your network, I could cut costs by 40%. You want me to give you company resources?" "I want a partnership. Sterling Tech provides cybersecurity for Ashford Industries. You give us logistics support. We both benefit." "Or you're trying to infiltrate my company." "If I wanted to infiltrate your company, I'd just hack it. This is business. This is extortion. This is negotiation. You need me to agree to marry you. I'm naming my price." I hated that he was right. "Fine. Logistics access. What else?" "The marriage has to look real." "What?" "Your grandfather specified 2 years minimum. That means 2 years of public appearances, social events, convincing people we're actually married. I won't have my reputation destroyed because we were sloppy." "I don't care about your reputation." "You should. Because if people think this is fake, they'll investigate. And if they find proof it's a business arrangement, the will could be challenged. You'd lose everything." He was right again. I hated him more for it. "How real are we talking?" "Living together, joint appearances at events, enough to convince the public and any lawyers who might be looking for loopholes. Separate bedrooms, obviously. No physical relationship. Agreed. And after 2 years, we divorce quietly. You keep the logistics access. I keep Ashford Industries. We never speak again." "Perfect." He extended his hand. I stared at it. This was the moment, the decision that would change everything. I shook his hand. His grip was firm, confident. and something electric passed between us. I pulled back quickly. When? I asked. How fast can you plan a wedding? I don't want a wedding. I want a courthouse. Can't. Has to look real, remember? We need something public, documented, photographed. I'm not having a giant society wedding. Neither am I. But we need something. Small ceremony, close friends and family. Enough to make it official and public. How small? 50 people. Garden ceremony at my family estate. Your father's estate? Are you insane? He won't be there. He's in Europe for the next month. On a convenient timing. This is a bad idea. Every part of this is a bad idea, but we're doing it anyway. He stood, pulled out a business card. My lawyer will send over the contract. Read it, sign it. Wedding is in 3 weeks. 3 weeks? You have 90 days total. We need time to make this look natural. Engagement period, planning. 3 weeks is already pushing it. He walked away. I sat there, stunned. In 3 weeks, I was marrying Dominic Sterling, the enemy, for $5 billion. God help me. The engagement. The contract arrived the next day. 72 pages of legal language that basically said, we're getting married for business reasons. Here's what each party gets. Here's what happens if either party violates the terms. Violation penalties included immediate forfeiture of all benefits and a $50 million lawsuit. Dominic Sterling didn't mess around. I signed it, had my lawyer review it, sign off on it. 3 days later, we made the announcement.
We are engaged.
Press release. Ashford and Sterling families announce engagement in a historic union that bridges two of New York's most prominent business dynasties. Vivian Ashford and Dominic Sterling announce their engagement. The couple plans to marry in a private ceremony this month. Both families express their support for this union, which represents a new chapter in cooperation between Ashford Industries and Sterling Tech. The media went insane. Forbes. The $8 billion wedding, what the Ashford-Sterling merger means for tech and luxury industries. TechCrunch. Dominic Sterling's surprise engagement. Love or strategic alliance? Page 6. Billion-dollar romance. Inside the whirlwind engagement of New York's most powerful couple. My phone didn't stop ringing. Sophie showed up at my apartment with champagne. This is insane. Insane. You're marrying him in 3 weeks? 2.5 now. Have you even spent time with him? Gone on a date? We had coffee. Does that count? Vivian? What? This isn't a real relationship. It's a business deal that you have to maintain for 2 years. You'll have to live with him, attend events. I pretend to be in love. I can act. Can you? Because I've known you for 10 years, and you're the worst liar I've ever met. She had a point. My phone buzzed. Message from Dominic. Dinner tomorrow, 7 p.m. Le Bernardin. We need to get our story straight before the engagement party. What engagement party? The one my mother is throwing next week. She insists. 50 people. Prepare accordingly. I groaned. What? Sophie asked. There's an engagement party. His mother is throwing it. Oh, you're meeting the parents. Wait, his parents, the Sterlings, your family's enemies. I'm aware. How are your parents handling this? My mother cried. My father looked like I'd betrayed the family name. Julian called me a sellout. Harsh? Accurate. I am selling out for $5 billion. Sophie poured more champagne. At least he's gorgeous. That makes it worse. How? Because it would be easier if he were ugly. Then I could just hate him, but he's attractive and smart. And every time we're in the same room, there's this tension. Chemistry, antagonism. Same thing. It's not the same thing. But even as I said it, I wondered if she was right. The dinner, Le Bernardin, 8 p.m. Dominic was already at the table, in a suit this time, dark navy, no tie. He stood when I arrived, pulled out my chair. "You're punctual," he said. "You say that like you're surprised." "I'm not. Your gallery reviews mention your professionalism. I assumed it extended to personal life." "You read my gallery reviews?" "I researched you. Thoroughly. I assume you did the same." I had. Spent hours reading about Sterling Tech and his rise from Stanford dropout to billionaire CEO, the innovative security software that had revolutionized digital protection. "You dropped out of Stanford," I said. "After 2 years. The coursework was too slow. I was already building the company." Arrogant. Accurate. I was right. Sterling Tech is worth $3 billion. Stanford gave me an honorary doctorate last year. The sommelier appeared. Dominic ordered wine without consulting me. I raised an eyebrow. "Problem?" he asked. "You didn't ask what I wanted." "You drink Sancerre, preferably from Loire Valley." I ordered accordingly. He'd researched my wine preferences. "Thorough," I admitted. "I don't go into any negotiation unprepared. This marriage is no different." "Is that what this is? A negotiation?" "What else would it be?" The wine arrived. He was right. It was perfect. "We need to establish our story," he said. "How we met, how we fell in love. We need consistency." "Why does it matter? Everyone knows this is a business arrangement." "Everyone suspects. No one can prove it. That's the difference. We need a believable narrative." "Fine. What's our story?" He pulled out his phone. Notes app. He'd actually written options. Option 1. We met at a charity gala 6 months ago. Kept it quiet due to family tensions. Your grandfather's death made us realize life's too short. We went public. That's boring. Option 2. We've been secretly seeing each other for a year. Your grandfather knew, approved. The will was his way of forcing our families to accept it. That makes my grandfather a romantic. He wasn't. Option 3. We met when you needed cybersecurity for your gallery. I consulted. We argued constantly. Hate turned to attraction. Classic enemies to lovers. That one's ridiculous. That one's closest to the truth. I paused. What truth? We do argue constantly, and there is attraction, even if you won't admit it. There's no attraction. You're wearing Chanel No. 5. You never wear perfume to gallery events. I checked your Instagram, but you wore it tonight. For me. My face flushed. That's presumptuous. That's observation. You also checked my schedule before agreeing to this dinner time, making sure I wasn't squeezing you between meetings. How do you... My assistant told me. You called to verify my availability. Damn it. Fine. Option 3. What are the details? We spent the next hour fabricating our relationship. First meeting. My gallery had a cybersecurity breach. Someone hacked the client database. I hired Sterling Tech to fix it. Dominic personally handled the case. We argued about everything. Security protocols, my resistance to his recommendations, his arrogance about his solutions. But the arguments led to late-night working sessions. Coffee, then dinner. Then attraction neither of us wanted. We kept it secret because of our families. But after my grandfather died, Dominic proposed. Said life was too short to let family feuds dictate happiness. It was a good story. Almost believable. One problem, I said. What? People will want proof. Photos, messages, evidence we were dating. Already handled. He showed me his phone. Photos of us, doctored, photoshopped, walking together, having coffee, at my gallery. How did you... I hired the best digital artists in the business. These are backdated. Posted to my private cloud with timestamps. If anyone investigates, they'll find a digital trail. That's incredibly thorough. I told you, I don't do anything halfway. He leaned forward. There's one more thing we need to address. What? The engagement party. People will expect us to be affectionate, comfortable with each other. We need to practice. Practice what? This. He reached across the table, took my hand. Electric shock, instant. I tried to pull back. He held firm. People in love touch each other, he said quietly. Casually, naturally. We need to be comfortable with it, or everyone will know this is fake. I don't want to be comfortable with you. Neither do I, but we don't have a choice. He was right. Again. I hated how often he was right. Fine, what else? Eye contact. You avoid looking at me directly. Engaged couples hold eye contact. They're drawn to each other. I can maintain eye contact. Prove it. I met his eyes. Blue-gray, intense. Held them. Felt my pulse quicken. He smiled slightly. See? Not so hard. This is ridiculous. This is survival. 2 years, Vivian. We need to be convincing. The waiter brought our entrees. We ate in silence for a moment. Tell me something true, he said suddenly. What? Something real, not part of the story, just you. Why? Because if we're going to live together for 2 years, I should know something about you beyond your gallery and your wine preferences. I considered refusing, but he was right. We were going to be married, living together, maintaining this charade. I wanted to be a painter, I said quietly. Not a gallery owner. A painter. But my grandfather said artists starve. Galleries make money. So I chose the practical option. Do you regret it? Sometimes. I see incredible art and think, I could have created that, but I didn't have the courage. You had the intelligence to recognize a sustainable career. That's not cowardice. That's pragmatism. Is that what you tell yourself? About dropping out of Stanford? I don't have to tell myself anything. I made the right choice. Sterling Tech proves it. Must be nice, being so certain all the time. It's exhausting, actually. Everyone expects me to have the answer, to never doubt, to never fail. He looked vulnerable for a moment. Then the mask returned. Your turn, I said. Something true. I hate that my father is happy about this marriage. He thinks it's a victory, a way to finally control Ashford Industries. I refused to tell him about the logistics deal specifically so he couldn't use it. You're keeping secrets from your own father? My father and I have a complicated relationship. He built Sterling Industries through ruthless tactics, hostile takeovers, sabotage. I built Sterling Tech through innovation. We disagree fundamentally on how business should be done. Then why does he still have power? He doesn't, not over Sterling Tech, but he still has influence, connections. He can make things difficult if he wants. Sounds familiar. My grandfather controlled everything until the day he died. Then we have that in common. Impossible legacy expectations. We finished dinner. He walked me outside. His driver pulled up. Let me take you home. I can get a cab. Vivienne, we're engaged. I'm taking you home. I got in the car. We sat in silence, the tension thick. When we reached my building, he walked me to the door. The engagement party is Saturday. I'll send details. Fine? He hesitated, then leaned in, kissed my cheek. Soft, brief, but enough to make my breath catch. Practice, he murmured. People will be watching. He walked back to the car. I stood there, hand on my cheek. This was going to be much harder than I'd thought. The engagement party. The Sterling estate was in Greenwich, Connecticut. 40 acres, stone mansion, gardens that looked like Versailles. Old money, older than the Ashfords. I arrived in a car Dominic had sent, wearing a dress I'd bought specifically for this. Emerald green silk. Elegant, expensive. Armor. He met me at the entrance, in a tux, no tie, somehow looking even better than at dinner. "You look beautiful," he said. "Oh, and a part of the act?" "Part of the truth." He took my arm, led me inside. The house was full of people. 50, as promised. But they all looked important, influential. The kind of people who appeared in Forbes and WSJ. "Who are these people?" I whispered. "My mother's friends, business associates, a few family members. Your parents are here. I invited them." "You what?" "They're your family. They should be here." We entered the ballroom, because of course there was a ballroom. My parents stood near the windows, my mother in pearls, my father in a suit that didn't quite fit the setting. They looked uncomfortable. "Vivian!" My mother rushed over, hugged me. "Are you sure about this?" my father asked quietly. "No, but I'm doing it anyway." Dominic's mother appeared. Helena Sterling, 60 years old, elegant, cold. "Vivian, how lovely to finally meet you." Her smile didn't reach her eyes. "Dominic has told me so much about you." "Has he?" "He says you're quite accomplished. A gallery owner? How charming." The condescension was barely veiled. "Thank you, Mrs. Sterling." "Please, call me Helena. We're to be family after all." She glided away. "She hates me," I muttered. "She hates everyone," Dominic said. "Don't take it personally." The evening progressed. Champagne, hors d'oeuvres, endless introductions. Everyone wanted to know our story. We told it, consistently. The gallery breach, the arguments, the unexpected attraction. People bought it, or pretended to. Around 9 p.m., Dominic's mother called for attention. "A toast," she said, "to my son and his beautiful bride-to-be. May your union bring prosperity to both families." Prosperity, not happiness. Everyone raised glasses. Dominic pulled me close, whispered in my ear, "We need to dance." "Why?" "Because engaged couples dance at their own party. Come on." He led me to the terrace. A small band was playing. Soft jazz. He pulled me into his arms. I'd never been this close to him. Could smell his cologne. Feel the heat of his hand on my lower back. "Relax," he murmured. "You're stiff." "I don't like being watched." "Then look at me, forget them." I met his eyes. Blue-gray, intense, focused completely on me. We swayed, the music wrapped around us. "This isn't so bad," he said. "It's a performance." "Is it? Right now, no one's watching. They're all drinking and gossiping. This moment, it's just us." He was right. The terrace was separate from the main party. Private. "Why are you being nice to me?" I asked. Would you prefer I was cruel?" "I'd prefer honesty." "Honest? Fine. I think you're brilliant, infuriating, beautiful, and completely wrong for me. But I'm stuck with you for 2 years, so I'm choosing to make the best of it." "That's your idea of honesty?" "That's my idea of survival. We can hate each other for 24 months, or we can find a way to coexist." Coexist, like roommates, like partners. The song ended. He didn't let go immediately. We stood there, close, his hand still on my back. "Dominic?" "I know, just practicing." He stepped back, led me inside. The party continued until midnight. By the time the last guest left, I was exhausted. Dominic found me in the library. I'd escaped there for air. "Survived," he said. "Barely." "You did well." "Oh, everyone bought it." "Your mother didn't." "My mother suspects everyone of ulterior motives. It's her default." He sat beside me on the leather sofa. 2 more weeks until the wedding. Then the real performance begins. Living together. In my penthouse. I've already had your things moved. I sat up. "You what?" "We're engaged. Of course you're moving in. I had movers pack your apartment this afternoon. Everything's at my place. You had no right. I had every right. We're getting married in 14 days. People expect us to be living together already. You should have asked. Would you have agreed? No. Exactly. I wanted to scream. You're impossible. I'm practical. There's a difference. There's no difference. Vivian. He turned to face me fully. I know this is hard. I know you value your independence. But for the next 2 years, we're a unit, a team. That means compromise. Compromise would involve asking me before making decisions about my life. You're right. I should have asked. I'm sorry. The apology surprised me. You're sorry? Yes, I'm not good at this. Relationships, partnership. I've spent my entire adult life making unilateral decisions. But you're not an employee. You're my fiancé. I need to do better. He actually meant it. I softened slightly. Thank you. Can we start over with the living arrangement? How? Come see the penthouse tomorrow. If you hate it, we'll find somewhere else. Somewhere we choose together. That was reasonable. Okay. Okay? Yes, I'll come see it tomorrow. He smiled. Progress. His driver took me back to the city, to my apartment, which was now half empty because Dominic had moved my things. I should have been furious. Instead, I was something else. Curious about what living with him would actually be like. The penthouse. Dominic's penthouse occupied the top 2 floors of a building in Tribeca. Floor-to-ceiling windows, panoramic city views, the kind of space that appeared in Architectural Digest. Minimalist, modern, expensive, and completely impersonal. You don't have any art, I said, walking through the living room. I haven't had time to acquire any. You're a billionaire. You can afford to hire someone. I could, but I don't know what I like. I paused, looked at him. You've spent your entire life building a company, yet you've never stopped to figure out what you actually enjoy? Enjoying things is inefficient. Enjoying things is human. He looked uncomfortable. I'll work on it. No, I'll work on it. Consider it my wedding gift. I'll curate art for this place. You don't have to. I want to. This is what I do. Besides, if I'm living here for 2 years, I refuse to stare at blank walls. He showed me the rest of the penthouse. Guest rooms, office, gym, a kitchen that looked like it had never been used. Do you cook? I asked. No, I have meals delivered. That's depressing. That's efficient. There's that word again. He led me upstairs, the bedroom level, master suite at one end, guest suite at the other. You'll have the master, he said. Absolutely not. This is your home. You're my wife. Well, you will be. The master suite is yours. Then where will you sleep? The guest suite. It's adequate. I looked at the master. Enormous. Bathroom bigger than my old apartment. Walk-in closet the size of a bedroom. This is too much. This is what's appropriate. Dominic, Vivian. He stepped closer. Let me do this, please. You've given up your apartment, your independence. Let me give you something in return. When he put it that way, fine, but I'm cooking. No more delivery meals. You cook? My grandmother taught me. Insisted every Ashford know how to make a proper meal. It's meditative. I'll cook. You'll eat. Deal? Deal. We shook hands. The electricity was back. That spark. We both pulled away quickly. I should go, I said. Lots to do before the wedding. Of course. He walked me to the elevator. Vivienne? Yes? Thank you. For trying. I know this isn't what you wanted. It's not what either of us wanted, but we're making it work. Are we? I thought about it. The past week, the engagement party, this conversation. Yeah, I think we are. I left. In the elevator, I smiled. Maybe this wouldn't be completely terrible. The wedding. 2 weeks later. The ceremony was in the garden at Dominic's estate. 50 people, close friends and family. My mother cried. My father looked stoic. Julian rolled his eyes through the entire thing. Dominic's mother watched with her cold smile, calculating what this meant for her family's position. And Dominic? He looked at me like I was the only person there. It was disconcerting. The officiant spoke. Traditional vows, love, honor, cherish, all lies. But when Dominic said, "I do," his voice was steady. When I said it, my mind wavered. "You may kiss the bride." Dominic stepped closer, cupped my face gently. "For the cameras," he whispered. Then he kissed me, and the world disappeared. It was supposed to be for show, brief, professional. Instead, it was... I pulled back first, breathless. His eyes were dark, surprised. We turned to the guests, smiled. Everyone applauded. We were married, bound for 2 years, and I just felt something I absolutely couldn't afford to feel. Attraction. Real, undeniable attraction. This was a problem. The honeymoon, that wasn't. There was no honeymoon. Dominic had to be in San Francisco for a tech conference. I had a major gallery opening in 2 weeks. We were married on Saturday. By Monday, we were both back to work, living together, sleeping in separate rooms, maintaining the charade. Except it was getting harder to remember it was a charade. The penthouse had changed. I'd spent the first week selecting art, modern pieces, abstract, colorful, things that made the sterile space feel alive. Dominic came home one evening, stopped in the living room. "You hung the Rothko," he said. "You noticed." It's impossible not to. It's vibrant. You hate it. I love it. I've walked past that wall 1,000 times and never really saw it. Now I can't stop looking. He walked closer, studied the painting. "Why this one?" "Because it's about emotion. Pure emotion. No logic, no efficiency, just feeling." He looked at me. "You think I need that?" "I think everyone needs that." Something shifted in his expression. "Teach me," he said. "Teach you what?" "About art, why it matters, what to look for. You said I don't know what I enjoy. Help me figure it out." It was vulnerable, honest. I couldn't refuse. "Okay, but it'll take time. I have 2 years. The cooking arrangement. I'd insisted on cooking. Dominic was skeptical. "You don't have to do this," he said the first night I'd arrived with groceries. "I want to. Besides, you eat like a robot. Nutritional shakes and delivery sushi, it's sad. It's efficient." That word again. I made pasta, simple, carbonara. He watched me work, fascinated. "You enjoy this?" "I do." My mind quiets. It's just technique and timing. Like coding. Exactly like coding, except the output is edible. We ate together at his massive dining table. He took a bite. His eyes widened. "This is incredible. It's pasta. It's the best thing I've eaten in months. Your bar is very low." But I smiled. After that, cooking became our routine. Yet I'd make dinner. He'd set the table. We'd eat together, talk, about work, about his company, about my gallery. Never about us, never about the marriage. Always careful, always distant. Except the distance was shrinking. Week 3. The gala. Dominic's company was being honored at a tech innovation gala. We had to attend. Together. As a married couple. I wore red, a dress that cost more than my first car. Dominic's stylist had insisted. He wore a tux, classic, perfect. We looked like we belonged together. The gala was at Cipriani, 500 people, tech moguls, venture capitalists, The who's who of Silicon Valley and New York tech. Dominic was the keynote speaker. I sat in the audience, watched him command the room. He talked about innovation, about pushing boundaries, about building something that lasts. And I realized he was brilliant, not just smart, genuinely brilliant. He'd built Sterling Tech from nothing, created technology that protected millions, employed thousands. He'd done exactly what my grandfather had done with Ashford Industries. We were more alike than I'd wanted to admit. After his speech, people swarmed him. I stood to the side, watched him navigate conversations, politics, charm. A woman approached me, mid-30s, beautiful, confident. "You must be Vivian. I'm Natasha Volkov, Sterling Tech's Chief Innovation Officer." "Nice to meet you." "Dominic speaks highly of you, says you're transforming his aesthetic sensibility." "I'm trying. It's working." I've never seen him so present. Usually he's calculating 5 moves ahead. But with you, he's actually in the moment. Was he? I looked at Dominic across the room, and he glanced up, caught my eye, smiled. A real smile, not the corporate one. "Excuse me," I said to Natasha. I walked to him. He immediately ended his conversation. "Ready to leave?" he asked. "Aren't you networking?" "I've networked enough. I'd rather go home." Home. He'd called his penthouse home. Our home. We left together. In the car, he loosened his tie, leaned back. "Thank you for coming tonight." It was part of the deal. Was it? I don't remember specifying gala attendance in the contract. It was implied. You could have said no. So could you, to a lot of things, but you don't. He looked at me. "What does that mean?" "You take on everything, every responsibility, every burden. Don't you ever want to just stop? If I stop, everything falls apart. Or maybe it doesn't, and maybe people are more capable than you think." He was quiet for a long moment. My father used to say that. Don't trust anyone to do it right. Do it yourself. I spent years proving I could. Building Sterling Tech alone, refusing help, refusing to delegate. That sounds exhausting. It was, it is. What changed? You. I looked at him, surprised. Me? You walked into my life, challenged everything, made me question whether efficiency is actually the goal, whether there's more to life than optimizing systems. Dominic, I know we're not real, this marriage, this arrangement. But Vivian, you make me want to be more than just the CEO. You make me want to be human. My heart was racing. I don't know what to say. You don't have to say anything. I just needed you to know. The car pulled up to our building, and we rode the elevator in silence, entered the penthouse, stood in the living room, the Rothko glowing on the wall. "I should go to bed," I said. "Vivian? Yes?" "That kiss at the wedding. Oh God, what about it? Did you feel it, or was it just me?" I could lie, should lie. Instead, I told the truth. I felt it. He stepped closer. Then why are we pretending we don't? Because this is a business arrangement. Because in 2 years, we're supposed to divorce and never speak again. Because getting involved would complicate everything. It's already complicated. It'll be worse if we cross this line. What if I want to cross it anyway? He was inches away now. Close enough that I could see the flecks of gray in his blue eyes. "Dominic, we can't. Give me one good reason why not." "Because I don't want to get hurt. And you will hurt me. Maybe not intentionally. But when this ends, when we divorce like we're supposed to, it'll destroy me. And I can't let that happen." He touched my face, gentle. "What if I promised not to hurt you?" "You can't promise that. No one can." "Then what if I promise to try?" What if for the next 2 years we stopped pretending and just saw where this goes? That's insane. So is marrying someone you've known for 3 weeks? We're already past insane. Might as well commit. He was right. We were already in impossible territory. One condition, I said. Name it. When the 2 years are up, if either of us wants out, we honor the original deal. Divorce quietly, no drama, no fighting. Agreed. And we tell no one, not our families, not our friends. This stays between us. Agreed. Dominic, I'm serious. If we do this, it has to stay private. I understand. Anything else? I looked at him. At this man who'd started as my enemy, who'd become my husband, who was now asking for something real. Don't make me regret this. I'll do my best. He kissed me. Not for show, not for cameras, for us. And this time, I didn't pull away. The new normal. Everything changed after that night. We still maintained separate bedrooms, still kept up appearances in public. But in private, we were together. Really together. Mornings became my favorite time. I'd wake up, find Dominic already in the kitchen, making coffee badly. I'd take over, make it properly. We'd sit on the terrace, watch the sunrise over Manhattan, talk about everything and nothing. Tell me something I don't know became our game. I'm terrified of failure, he admitted one morning. You've never failed. Exactly, which means when I eventually do, it'll be catastrophic. Everyone expects perfection. What happens when I can't deliver? You'll figure it out, like you always do. You have a lot of faith in me. I'm married to you, kind of required. He smiled, kissed my temple. This was dangerous, because it felt real. And I was starting to forget. It wasn't supposed to be. Month 2, the cracks. We were at a Sterling Tech Board meeting. I wasn't supposed to be there, but Dominic had invited me. You run a business. You might have insights. The meeting was tense. Sterling Tech's latest security software had a vulnerability. A small one, but enough that competitors were exploiting it. The board wanted to recall the entire product. Rebuild from scratch. Dominic disagreed. We patch it, release an update, recalling shows weakness. Weakness? One board member argued. The vulnerability shows weakness. Recalling shows we care about security. It shows we didn't test properly, that we rushed to market. Didn't you? Silence. I saw Dominic's jaw tighten. The product was ready. This vulnerability is minor. Like we fix it, move forward. Dominic, the optics, I don't care about optics. I care about our reputation. We're a security company. Recalling our flagship product destroys trust. They argued for an hour. Finally, Dominic called for a vote. The board voted to recall. 8-3. Dominic's face was stone. Fine, recall it. Schedule the press conference for tomorrow. After the meeting, he disappeared into his office. I found him an hour later, staring out the window. Are you okay? I'm fine. You're not fine. They overruled you. It's their right. I'm CEO, but the board has final say. Doesn't make it easier. He turned, looked exhausted. I built this company on trust, on the promise that we'd never compromise security. And now we're admitting we did, that I did, by rushing the launch. It's one product, one mistake. In this industry, one mistake is all it takes. Our competitors will use this. Our stock will drop. Clients will question whether we're still the best. Then prove them wrong. Fix it. Release something better. Show them this was a momentary setback, not a pattern. He studied me. You really believe that? I know that. My gallery had a scandal 2 years ago. Someone sold a fake painting, blamed us for not catching it. We could have collapsed. Instead, we implemented authentication protocols, became the most trusted gallery in New York. Mistakes don't define you. How you respond does. He pulled me close, kissed my forehead. How are you so wise? I'm not. I'm just older than you think. You're 27. A very wise 27. He laughed. Actually laughed. Come on, I said. Let's go home. I'll make you dinner. Sure, you can sulk properly with good food. I don't sulk. Everyone sulks. Even billionaire CEOs. The argument? But the board's decision festered. Over the next week, Dominic became distant, withdrawn. He worked 18-hour days, barely came home. When he did, he was exhausted, irritable. You need to rest, I said one night. I need to fix this. You can't fix everything alone. I have to try. Why? Why does it all have to be on you? Because it's my company, my reputation. If I don't carry this, who will? Your team, your employees. You hired brilliant people, trust them. I do trust them. No, you don't. You trust yourself. Everyone else is just supporting cast. That's not fair. It's completely fair. Dominic, you're killing yourself trying to be perfect. And for what? So the board respects you? So your father can't say you failed? Don't bring my father into this. Why not? He's half the reason you're like this. Proving you're better than him, proving you deserve what you built. You don't know what you're talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I spent my entire life trying to prove to my grandfather I was good enough. It nearly destroyed me. Don't make the same mistake. This is different. It's not. You're sacrificing everything for approval from people who'll never give it. At least I'm trying. At least I'm not hiding in a gallery pretending to be independent while living off family legacy. The words hung in the air. Brutal. Cutting. I stepped back. Wow. Vivian, I didn't mean, yes, you did. And you know what? You're right. I am living off family legacy. That's what this marriage is. That's what the inheritance is. I'm just as trapped as you are. I'm not trapped. Yes, you are. We both are. In this arrangement. In our family's expectations. In a marriage that was supposed to be fake but somehow became real. And now neither of us knows how to handle it. Silence. Is that what you think? He asked quietly. That this is still fake? I don't know what this is anymore. Then let me clarify. For me, it stopped being fake weeks ago. The moment I kissed you after the wedding. The moment I came home and you were there. The moment I realized I didn't want this to end in 2 years. My heart stopped. Dominic. I'm falling for you, Vivian. Actually falling. Not part of the arrangement. Not part of the plan. Just you. And it terrifies me. Because you're right. When this ends, when we're supposed to divorce, I don't know how I'll survive it. I couldn't breathe. I can't do this right now. I need to think. I grabbed my coat, left, walked the city for hours, thinking about his words, about my own feelings, about how a fake marriage had become the realest thing in my life. The discovery. I came back to the penthouse at 2 a.m. The lights were still on. Dominic was in his office, surrounded by papers. I was about to announce myself when I saw what he was reading. Legal documents, with my grandfather's name on them. I stepped closer, read over his shoulder. Private agreement between Harrison Ashford and Marcus Sterling. Date, 6 months before Harrison's death. My stomach dropped. What is this? Dominic jumped, turned. Vivian, I was going to tell you. Tell me what? That my grandfather and your father made a deal? That this whole marriage was orchestrated? It's not what it looks like. I grabbed the documents. Read. In exchange for Sterling Industries ceasing hostile takeover attempts against Ashford Industries, Harrison Ashford agrees to condition his inheritance on Vivian Ashford marrying Dominic Sterling. Upon marriage, Ashford Industries will merge with Sterling Tech, creating a united entity. Marcus Sterling will serve as chairman, Dominic Sterling as CEO. The Ashford family will maintain 40% ownership. I couldn't breathe. They planned this 6 months ago, before my grandfather died. This was never about ending a feud. It was about a merger. Vivian, let me explain. Did you know? When you agreed to marry me, did you know about this? His silence was answer enough. Oh my God, you knew. Yet this whole time. I found out after the will reading. My father showed me the agreement. But I swear I didn't agree to marry you because of this. Then why? Because the logistics deal made sense. Because fighting it seemed pointless. Because I was curious about you. Curious. That's what I am. An interesting problem to solve. That's not everything I thought I knew about the will, about my grandfather's intentions. It was all a lie. He didn't want to end the feud. He wanted to sell my family's legacy. He wanted to protect it. The agreement says Ashfords maintain 40%. 40% of something my family built from nothing. While your father becomes chairman, this is exactly what he wanted. Control over Ashford Industries. My father won't be chairman. I won't let that happen. How? The agreement is legal, a binding. Once we've been married 2 years, the merger is automatic. We fight it. We find a loophole. There is no loophole, don't you get it? We were pawns, both of us. Our grandfathers and fathers playing chess with our lives. So what do you want to do? I want the truth. All of it. What else don't I know? He ran his hand through his hair, looked exhausted. Your grandfather contacted my father 6 months before he died, offered the deal. My father agreed immediately. Harrison drew up the will, specified the marriage condition, the timeline, everything. Why Dominic Sterling specifically? Why you? Because I'm not my father. Harrison knew that. He researched me, saw that Sterling Tech operates differently than Sterling Industries. He believed if anyone could merge the companies without destroying Ashford's legacy, it was me. That's why he specified you, not because of the feud, because he thought you'd protect what he built. Yes. And you? You agreed to this knowing you'd be undermining your own father? My father's methods are outdated, hostile, destructive. I've spent years building something different. If I can merge Sterling Tech with Ashford Industries on my terms, I can finally cut my father out completely. So I'm not just a pawn, I'm a weapon against your father. You're not a weapon. Then what am I? Your business partner? Your wife? Your co-conspirator against our families? You're the person I fell in love with. The words echoed. Love. He'd said love. You don't love me. You love the idea of me, the strategic advantage I represent. That's not true. Isn't it? Convenient timing. Falling for me right when the merger becomes relevant. I fell for you weeks before I knew about the merger timeline. But you knew about the agreement. You knew this was all orchestrated. I knew, and I should have told you. I was wrong. But Vivian, my feelings for you are real, separate from business, separate from our families. I wanted to believe him, but trust was broken. I need time to think, to process all of this. How much time? I don't know. Maybe we should separate for a while. Separate? I'll stay at a hotel. We'll maintain appearances publicly, but privately, I need distance. Vivian, please. You lied to me, Dominic. By omission, but still. How am I supposed to trust anything you say? Because I'm being honest now. Because I'm choosing you over the merger, over my father, us over everything. Are you? Or are you choosing the strategic advantage I provide? It's you. It's always been you. I walked to the master bedroom, started packing. He followed. Don't do this. We can work through it. Can we? Our entire relationship is built on a business deal orchestrated by men who are dead or want to control us. How do we build something real on that foundation? By choosing to. By deciding that what we have matters more than how it started. I zipped my suitcase, turned to face him. I'll attend public events, maintain the charade, but privately we're done, until I can figure out what's real and what's manipulation. How long? I don't know. I walked to the elevator. He didn't stop me. In the hotel room that night, I cried. For the loss of something I hadn't realized I'd had. For the betrayal of men who'd controlled us from beyond the grave. And for the possibility that everything Dominic had said was true. That he really did love me. And I just walked away. The separation. 2 weeks. That's how long I stayed at the hotel. 2 weeks of maintaining appearances, attending events, smiling for cameras, while dying inside. Dominic kept his distance, respected my request for space. But I saw it in his eyes at every public appearance. Pain, regret, longing. I felt the same. Sophie came to the hotel on day 10. This is ridiculous, you're in love with him. I don't know what I feel. Vivienne, you've been miserable for 10 days. You're staying in a hotel instead of your penthouse. You keep checking your phone hoping he'll text. He lied to me. He withheld information. There's a difference. Is there? Yes, and you know it. You're scared. You fell for someone you were supposed to hate, and now you're running because it's easier than admitting you want this to be real. She was right. I hated that she was right. What if he really did manipulate me? What if his feelings are strategic? Then you'll know. But Vivienne, I've seen you two together. The way he looks at you, that's not strategy. That's a man completely gone for someone. How do I trust that? You ask him, directly, and you listen, really listen. Not to what you're afraid he'll say, but to what he's actually saying. I thought about it all night. About Dominic. About us. About what I actually wanted. And I realized, I wanted him. Merger or no merger. Agreement or no agreement. I wanted to try. The lawyer's revelation. The next morning, Edmund Morrison called. Ms. Ashford, I need to see you, immediately. It's regarding your grandfather's will. I met him at his office. He looked grave. I've been reviewing Harrison's files. Something you should know. About the agreement with Marcus Sterling. I know about it. Dominic showed me. Did he show you the amendment? What amendment? Edmund pulled out another document. Amendment to Private Agreement. Date, 2 weeks before Harrison's death. Upon further reflection, Harrison Ashford amends the merger condition as follows. The merger will only proceed if both Vivienne Ashford and Dominic Sterling agree to it after the 2-year marriage period. If either party objects, the merger is void. Ashford Industries remains independent. Marcus Sterling forfeits all claims. I stared at the document. My grandfather gave me a choice? He gave both of you a choice. The original agreement was Marcus Sterling's idea. Harrison went along with it initially. But then he met Dominic, saw who he really was, realized Dominic wasn't like Marcus. So Harrison changed the terms. Why didn't he tell me? Because he wanted you to figure it out yourself. Whether Dominic was worth trusting, whether the marriage could become real, he was testing both of you. That's manipulative. That's Harrison. He never did anything without 3 contingency plans. Edmund slid another document across, a letter, in my grandfather's handwriting. Vivienne, if you're reading this, Edmund has told you about the amendment. You're probably angry. You have every right to be. I arranged this marriage for several reasons. Yes, to protect Ashford Industries, but more importantly, to give you what I never had, A true partner. I built our empire alone. It was lonely, exhausting. I don't want that for you. Dominic Sterling is brilliant, honorable, nothing like his father. I researched him extensively. He's the one person I trust to protect what we built. But more than that, he's someone who could challenge you, match you, love you the way you deserve. I'm sorry for the deception, but I'm not sorry for introducing you to him. The choice is yours, always has been. Love, grandfather. Tears blurred my vision. He was matchmaking. The stubborn old bastard was matchmaking. He was protecting you in his own controlling way. Does Dominic know about the amendment? I don't believe so. Marcus certainly doesn't. I kept it confidential as Harrison requested. Then I need to tell him. I stood, started to leave. Vivian, Edmund called. Your grandfather was right about Dominic. I've watched him these past months. He's fought his father at every turn to protect Ashford interests. He could have exploited the marriage. He hasn't, and that means something. It meant everything. The confrontation with Marcus. I went to Sterling Industries headquarters, not to see Dominic, to see his father. Marcus Sterling's office was old money, dark wood, portraits of ancestors, everything Dominic's office wasn't. He looked up when I entered, smiled coldly. Mrs. Sterling, what a pleasant surprise. We need to talk about the merger. Ah, Dominic finally told you. I wondered when he'd work up the courage. He didn't tell me willingly, I found out. Even better. Trouble in paradise? There's an amendment to the agreement. My grandfather changed the terms 2 weeks before he died. Marcus's smile faltered. What amendment? I showed him the document. He read it. His face darkened. This is... Harrison betrayed our deal. No, he protected his granddaughter and gave your son a chance to prove he's nothing like you. Dominic is exactly like me. He's nothing like you. You destroy companies. He builds them. You manipulate. He innovates. You tried to force this merger. He's been trying to prevent it. Nonsense. The merger benefits everyone. It benefits you. It gives you control over Ashford Industries, something you've wanted for 30 years. But you're not getting it, because Dominic won't agree, and neither will I. Marcus stood, furious. You ungrateful girl, your grandfather's empire would have collapsed without this arrangement. My grandfather's empire is thriving, under my leadership and Dominic's protection. We don't need you. Dominic will never defy me. He already has, every day, every decision. He's built something you could never build, on a company based on innovation instead of intimidation. He's weak. He's strong enough to be his own man, something you never were. You've spent your entire life trying to live up to your father's legacy. Dominic's creating his own. I turned to leave. If you try to fight this amendment, I'll go public. I'll tell everyone how you manipulated my grandfather, how you tried to steal Ashford Industries through an arranged marriage. Your reputation will be destroyed. You wouldn't dare try me. I left, hands shaking, heart racing, but victorious. The grand gesture. I went home, to the penthouse. Dominic was there, in the living room, sitting in front of the Rothko. He looked up when I entered. Vivienne. I talked to Edmund. I know about the amendment. He stood. What amendment? My grandfather changed the agreement 2 weeks before he died. The merger only happens if we both agree. Otherwise, it's void. What? I showed him the documents, the letter. He read them, slowly. Harrison gave us a choice. He gave us everything, freedom, control, and each other, if we want it. Do you want it? I walked to him, close. I spent 2 weeks in a hotel, 2 weeks being miserable, 2 weeks trying to convince myself I didn't love you. And I failed. Completely. Dominic, I love you. I don't know when it happened. Maybe the first time you made me laugh. Maybe when you started learning about art. Maybe when you kissed me at our wedding. But it's real. And I'm terrified. But I'm more terrified of losing you. His eyes were bright. Vivian, I'm not finished. I also confronted your father. I told him we're not agreeing to the merger, that Ashford Industries stays independent, that he has no power over us. You confronted Marcus Sterling alone? Someone had to. He's been controlling you your entire life. It stops now. He pulled me close, kissed me, deep, desperate, real. When we broke apart, he was smiling. I love you. I've loved you since you yelled at me in that first meeting about my coffee order. Since you challenged everything I thought I knew. Since you made me want to be more than just a CEO. Your coffee order is terrible, by the way. He laughed. I know. You've told me 40 times. I'll tell you 40 more. Please do, for the next 50 years. 50? At least. Vivian Ashford Sterling, will you stay married to me? Not because of a contract, not because of inheritance, but because you want to? On one condition. Name it. We renegotiate. New terms, equal partnership in business and life. Done. What else? We tell our families, no more secrets, no more arrangements, just us, choosing each other. Agreed. Anything else? One more thing. We renew our vows, not because we have to, because we want to. A real wedding, our choice, our terms. He kissed me again. Yes, to all of it, to everything. 6 months later, the real wedding. We didn't need a big ceremony, just us, our closest friends, the people who mattered. Sophie is my maid of honor. Natasha is Dominic's best woman. My parents, crying, happy this time. No Marcus Sterling. He'd been furious about losing the merger, threatened lawsuits. Dominic had simply cut him out. Completely. He's toxic, Dominic had said. I don't need his approval. I have yours. That's enough. The ceremony was in the penthouse, in front of the Rothko, the painting that had started everything. The officiant was Edmund Morrison. Marriage, he said, is not a business transaction. It's not about mergers or agreements or strategic advantage. It's about choosing someone. Every day, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. He looked at us. Dominic, Vivian, you started with a contract, but you're standing here because you chose something bigger. You chose love. You chose partnership. You chose each other. We exchanged new vows, ones we'd written together. Dominic went first. Vivian, you taught me that efficiency isn't everything, that life is meant to be felt, not optimized. You challenged me, changed me, made me want to be worthy of you. I promise to keep learning, keep growing, keep choosing you every single day. My turn. Dominic, you taught me that strength isn't about doing everything alone. It's about letting someone in, trusting them, building something together. You've been my partner, my challenger, my home. I promise to keep cooking for you. Keep filling your world with color. Keep loving you. For as long as you'll have me. Forever, he whispered. Forever, I agreed. We kissed. And this time, it wasn't for show. It wasn't for a contract. It was for us. 1 year later, Ashford Industries and Sterling Tech remained separate companies, but we collaborated constantly, shared resources, innovation, ideas, better together, but independent, like us. I still ran my gallery. Dominic still ran Sterling Tech, but we built a life, a real one. Morning coffee, evening dinners, art museum weekends, tech conferences where I'd translate the jargon, he'd translate the business. We fought. Of course we did. About his work hours, about my stubbornness, about whether the new Picasso I wanted to buy was investment or indulgence. But we always came back to each other, always chose each other. One morning over coffee, Dominic showed me something, a document. What's this? The Sterling Foundation, Joint Charitable Fund. Your art programs for underserved communities. My tech education initiatives, combined. Dominic, we're stronger together. Always have been. I want to build something, not a merger, a partnership. Real one. What do you think? I looked at the proposal, at him, at the life we'd built from a contract. I think my grandfather was right. About what? About you. About us. About giving me someone who'd challenge me, match me, love me. Harrison Ashford, the manipulative old romantic. The smartest man I ever knew. Dominic pulled me close. So, is that a yes? It's always yes. To you, to us, to everything we're building. Even when I make terrible coffee? Especially then. Someone has to save you from yourself. He laughed, kissed me, and I thought, this is what love is, not a contract, not an arrangement, but a choice, made every day, to build something together, to challenge each other, to be partners, in business, in life, in everything. I'd married Dominic Sterling for $5 billion, but I stayed for something priceless, for him, for us, for the love we chose. The end, like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next story. Thanks.